Hi everyone, this is Joy for Honeybee Stamps. Today's project is a really cute coffee cup card using the new Love You S'more stamp and coordinating die from Honeybee Stamps Love Letters release that just came out. Now I have die cut the card base, the coffee cup card, and this will be the base of our card in white cardstock. I will be doing some Copic coloring on this, so make sure it is Copic friendly. I am using Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, 110 pound. And from the Love You S'more stamp set, I'm just going to use that cute little donut. And I'm going to stamp the donuts all over the front and back of this card base. I actually will end up cutting this apart because you can see the Copic marker color through on the other side, and that wasn't going to look pretty for the inside of the card. So I'm just going to stamp these donuts all over just randomly, 4 or 5 donuts, just however they fit. Sometimes it's hard to make things look random, and so I was trying my best to get that look. Now I'm going to come in and do some Copic coloring. So for the base of the donut, I'm using E30, 33, and 57. So I've laid down the lightest color. I'm coming in with the darkest, which is the E57, and just tracing around where the frosting is, and then coming in, blending it a little bit with the 33, and then finishing it with the E30. I'm going to be using a pink, a blue, and a purple for these donuts. So for this pink, this is R81, 83, and 85. I came in with the 81, laid that color down. I am coming in with the 85 and just tracing around the hole, and on the outside, I want to leave a lighter edge on the inside. And then I'm going to come in with the 83 and then blending it back out again with the 81. I do like to come back in with the darkest color at the very end and add a few more shadow areas to really get that good intense color. For the purple, this is V15 and V17. I really only needed 2 colors for this, and I'm going to do that the same way. For the blue, I am using B26, 04, and 16. So I'm coming in with the 04, coming back with the 16. Originally, I thought I was just going to use 2 colors, but then I decided to come back in with that B26 and add a little bit of the darker shadows, and it definitely made a difference on this blue donut. So I'm going to color all of those and get all of those done, the rest of them off camera, of course, to not just continue repeating. So again, adding that B26 to add the darker shadows around the edge of the frosting and inside near the hole. Now I'm going to come in with C1 and C3. C3 is just about halfway on this one side of the donut because I wanted a little bit of a darker gray shadow, and then I'm going to come in with C1 going all the way around the donut, blending out that C3 just a little bit, and this makes the donuts kind of pop off the page and look like there is some dimension. Now that that's done, as you can see the coloring on the back side, so I'm just going to use my paper trimmer and cut this along the score line, and then I will just die cut another coffee cup from white cardstock. I'm just going to fold that on the score line and come in with my bone folder to get a really nice crisp fold. Then I'm going to adhere the front and the back pieces onto this. I'm just going to use some tape runner for that. You also could use liquid glue, which would also give you a little bit of time to slide it around and into position. Once I've adhered both sides to this coffee card cup base, I am going to show you the die cuts for the lids and for the wrapper. The lids, I have cut 2 of those so we can have one on the front and the back, and that's out of black cardstock. And then out of a Kraft cardstock for the wrapper that's going to go around the coffee mug. Now there is a score line on each side, one on each side of each die. And I'm going to fold that and use my bone folder to get a nice crisp edge. And I'm going to use the Scor-Tape, a 1/8 inch Scor-Tape. It's very thin and it works perfect for this kind of application. I'm going to put that on both of the flaps, remove the release paper, and then I'm going to adhere those together. And this, I like the Scor-Tape because it's very strong. You also could use liquid glue, but I'd be very careful with that so it doesn't glue together in the wrong places. But as you can see, I'm lining it up on one side, and then I'm going to flip it over and make sure it lines up great, using my bone folder to really get a nice, good adhesion. Now I adhered the lid pieces to the front and the back, again, just with some tape runner, and everything just lines up with the same shape of the top of the cup. It's the same shape as the lid. Now I felt like the card base itself needed some more decoration to it, so I came in with Spun Sugar Distress Oxide ink, and there's 3 different size hearts from the Love You S'more stamp set, and I am just stamping those hearts in little clusters on the front of this, and I'm also going to do it on the back of this card. Again, I want everything to be cohesive, but look at how cute that looks. Just all 3 different sizes clustered together. Now in my MISTI, I do have that wrapper that we just put together, and I'm going to do some white heat embossing onto the front of this. I am using the sentiment that says, I do not know what I'd do without you, and that's from the Love You S'more stamp set. I am making sure that that is centered. I'm also making sure that my wrapper is upright, because that would not be fun to do all of this work and it be upside down. I prepped that with the anti-static powder tool. Using the VersaMark ink, I'm going to ink up that sentiment twice to get a nice crisp image, sprinkling on the white embossing powder, and then I'm just going to heat that with my heat tool until it's nice and melted, and you know it'll be melted when it's nice and shiny. Now that that's done, I needed to add something to the lid of this coffee cup. So I decided to come in with the largest heart from the Love You S'more stamp set, a little bit of VersaMark ink, and I'm going to stamp that in the center, and again, just using the white embossing powder, sprinkle that on and heat that through until it's melted. Now I did prep that black cardstock, so when this is done being melted and it's cooled off, just buff off the top with a dry rag or paper towel. Now the inspiration for the colors of my card were from the Berry Sweet clay hearts from Honeybee Stamps. I'm using a little bit of liquid glue and adhering those down in the pink, the blue, and the purple, and I just think they are so darling on that cute wrapper that goes around the coffee cup. Now I wanted to add some finishing details. I like to do that with a white gel pen. So I'm coming in and adding some little bit of lines and some dots all around the frosting of the donuts. I'll be doing that on all of the donuts on the front and the back of this card. I think this kind of detail really makes your images stand out different and adds a ton of interest. And look at how cute this card turned out with all of those fun, colorful donuts and the little hearts, and then you've got this great little wrapper. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project. Everything that I've used for this is listed and linked below in the description. Thanks. Bye.